Tonight, as President-elect Donald Trump is preparing for a widespread immigration crackdown when he takes office 25 days from now, we're seeing a crack between some of his top advisors and his MAGA base. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are both facing major blowback from their own supporters for not only backing, but encouraging offering more visas to highly skilled foreign workers. Over the Christmas holiday, Musk posted this online saying, "Think of this like a pro sports team. If you want your team to win the championship, you need to recruit top talent wherever they may be." He later added, "I'm referring to bringing in, via legal immigration, the top 0.1% of engineering talent as being essential for America to keep winning." He's talking about H1-B visas, which allow employers to hire highly skilled foreign workers. Musk, who himself is from South Africa, said that he once had this kind of visa, and he's arguing that Silicon Valley is facing a shortage of excellent engineering talent, as he.
I think Elon Musk wants to support policies and laws and bills that favors him and his businesses. So of course he would love to have high-skilled workers, talented workers from other countries come into America to work for him and his businesses cheaply.
Put it. But the annual cap on those kinds of visas right now is at $65,000. With another $20,000 for those who get a master's or a doctorate in the U.S. Musk is being backed up by his partner in Trump's government efficiency initiative, Vivek Ramaswamy. He says it's a cultural issue that there aren't more competitive engineers in the U.S. Here's what he said online: "A culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. A culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World, or Zach and Slater over Screech and Saved by the Bell, or Stefan over Steve Urkel and Family Matters will not produce the best engineers." But that argument is not going over well with Trump's MAGA base, certainly not online. Some of them saying, "We did not ask them to engineer an immigration policy. Tech wants indentured servants, not high-skilled workers. You don't even know what MAGA immigration policy is." Now, Trump himself, who I should note restricted H-1B visas in his first term, has said on the campaign trail this time around that he did want to make it easier for educated foreigners to work in the U.S.
What I want to do and what I will do is, you graduate from a college, I think you should get automatically, as part of your diploma, a green card to be able to stay in this country. And that includes junior colleges too. Anybody graduates from a college, you go in there for 2 years or 4 years. If you graduate or you get a doctorate degree from a college, you should be able to stay in this country.
My political sources tonight are.
Yeah, I think this is basically the difference between these CEOs in the Silicon Valley, such as Vivek Ramaswamy, such as Elon Musk, who are also descendants of immigrants or immigrants themselves, and their way of thinking, meaning they want skilled workers, skilled engineers, but don't want to pay them a lot of money. Between the MAGA base, the original MAGA base, who thinks America should be first, Americans should be first, Americans should get the job first, and not the immigrants. Let's hear what they have to say about this next.
Former New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio, CNN political commentator and Republican strategist Sir Michael Singleton, and also CNN economics and political commentator Catherine Rampell. And Catherine, you have covered this issue for a long time. Can you just lay out what we're looking at here in this divide between what Elon Musk says he thinks would be the best for the United States and why we are seeing something that we have not seen, frankly, almost at all lately, which is a lot of people in the MAGA universe outright disagreeing with him, arguing with him, and breaking with him online?
So Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy in this particular case, I think, are exactly right. America's ability to attract talent from around the world is basically our economic superpower. The fact that, in particular, we've been able to attract high-skilled immigrants quite reliably in this country over the past century or so is why we have this enduring leadership in science, tech, and business. So
yeah, I think she's right about that one. Just look at Elon Musk, where he comes from. Just look at Vivek Ramaswamy, where he comes from. And most skilled engineers in the Silicon Valley are also immigrants. And they love it to work in America, to work for successful companies and make a lot of money there.
just as an example, of all Fortune 500 companies, about half of them were founded by immigrants or the children of immigrants. And of the Nobel laureates, American Nobel laureates who have received prizes for the hard sciences this century, about 40% of them are immigrants who came to this country. So again, this is our superpower, and I'm very glad that Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy recognize it. I very much hope that they are able to influence Donald Trump on this particular issue, but I'm doubtful about it because, just as you mentioned, in his first term, Trump was actually quite hostile to legal immigrants, in particular, by the way, high-skilled legal immigrants. He made it really hard for them to come here, not just those who wanted work authorization, international students who cross-subsidize American students, by the way. He basically harassed them and made it very difficult for them to keep their legal documents in order. That's because, as much as Trump has said, he only objects to illegal immigration, he's very much in favor of legal immigration. His policies don't bear that out, and that's partly because Stephen Miller is the one who was the architect of Donald Trump's immigration policies last time around, and will probably do so again this time around, and is unlikely to adopt the sort of Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy view of things.
Yeah, keep in mind that Donald Trump won this time around because many people rallied the Republican Party, many people rallied him, rallied his cause, and rallied his vision for America in the future. Such as Elon Musk, such as Vivek Ramaswamy, such as Tulsi Gabbard, such as Robert Kennedy. And they all rallied Trump and enabled him to win. So now you have to not only answer to his old MAGA base, to his old far-right MAGA base who wanted America first and no immigration at all, and the new MAGA base of all of these people that joined him and the Republican Party and from the city, who are from the Silicon Valley. He has to basically find the common ground between these two kind of people within his supporters, and that's gonna be very, very difficult to do.
Stephen Miller's getting a huge job in the West Wing. He's been around Trump for the 4 years he was out of office. And sure, Michael, as the Republican here, I wonder what your view on this is, because this is happening within the Republican Party. I mean, these are two top advisors to Trump, the MAGA world, who are kind of framing this as the true believers who say, we asked for stricter immigration policies. That didn't mean coming with a carve out for high-skilled workers that they say are taking American jobs here.
Yeah, look, I think with all due respect to Mr. Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, they should focus on saving federal dollars for the taxpayers and not immigration policy. I understand some of the points that Catherine made, and I agree to an extent, but I think the U.S. should focus more on domestic skill development. Studies also show that H1-B1 exacerbates employers hiring individuals from outside of the country when they could potentially hire minorities, for an example, which we know there's a shortage in the STEM fields. There are a significant number of Americans who I think would love opportunities if they had the proper training and skills to operate in those jobs fairly well. So why not start and focus there? I'm not of the support or mindset, Caitlin, that we should let in more than the 60,000+ that were already let into the country. Do we have some deficits? I certainly understand that point, again, to what Catherine was sort of alluding to. But I think by focusing on increasing domestic skill development, you can decrease the furtherance of those deficits by virtue of saying, you know what, we're going to spend more of our time, more of our dollars educating our own citizens to compete for these jobs versus saying, let's increase to 100,000 or maybe even more for employers to bring in individuals from India, which is the predominant country where many of them come from. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah, I think both point of view are valid, and you can do both at the same time. You can at the same time increase training of the Americans and make high-skilled engineers in America as well, and encourage people to study more and work harder and learn new things and learn new skills and learn these skills that are required for this high-paying job in the Silicon Valley. And at the same time, if you find nobody in America that is able to do the job, then you can go the very difficult and lengthy process and expensive process of the H1-B visa to hire foreigners. You can definitely do both at the same time, and it's not black and white. It's not one or the other. I definitely think it should be both.
Oh, and I think folks in the MAGA world have every right to be angry with Vivek and Elon Musk.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting point because I saw that argument being made, but also I saw Mark Cuban, Mr. Mayor, responding to that saying, well, and I think we have what he had posted, quoting to Elon Musk and Vivek, saying, well, everyone, argue college is overrated. If you're arguing we need to have more homegrown engineers, don't we need more kids who are going to college? I mean, I think he's being a bit sarcastic there, but that is kind of the dual arguments that you see sometimes. I mean, I think he's...
The reason Vivek Ramaswamy is saying, the reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Native Americans isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit, lazy and wrong explanation. A key part of it comes down to the C-word culture. Tough question, demand tough answer. So he says the American culture is wrong. So he says this American culture is not creating high IQ Americans that are willing to do the engineering jobs that are required in top tech companies. Well, I think he's wrong about that one as well.
He's being a bit sarcastic there, but that is kind of the dual arguments that you see sometimes from this political orbit.
Look, I see a couple of things going on here. First of all, I have to say I agree with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. I think they're pointing out the reality that we're living. You could say, and I hear Michael's point, I disagree with it, though, because I think it misses the fact that we want to get to the place where we can maximize the use of our own talent in this country. Let's bring in the best and brightest from all around the world. Let's really make our economy stronger. Let's become even more tech dominant. That's the way, in fact, to elevate the whole country and to create more opportunity for Americans of all kinds.
Yeah, I agree. But the smarter the people are in the United States, the more successful enterprise there will be, and the more job creation there will be, and the economy will go that way, innovation will go that way, and America will stay on top of everybody. You have to bring the best people from around the world to America to do this.
The tech field. So I don't know why on earth we wouldn't want to grab all the talent out there, especially because if we don't, our competitors will. I think it's also fascinating that we're seeing this kind of open conflict. I think it's going to be the first of many. And of course, that speaks to the question of Elon Musk's role. I think really soon we're going to see more divergence between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. It's natural, given each of them having the power they have. I think that's going to be a very, very important storyline in 2025, that these two people who appear to be allies but really have very different interests start to diverge issue by issue.
Yeah, keep in mind that Elon Musk only rallied Donald Trump very, very recently and very, very late into the campaign, basically because he saw that the Democrats did not want Elon Musk with them. So he just went to the other camp, to the Republican camp, and donated $270 million to Donald Trump's campaign and allowed him to win and supported him on X, basically the biggest social media platform right now. Everyone is.
We saw it also during the recent budget fight. I think we're going to see it on issues like artificial intelligence and climate, where Musk has been in a different place than Trump. That's going to have ramifications for how successful Trump can be in general. And then finally, I mean, look, for the MAGA world to be turning on their own this quickly. This is also an interesting question. They almost look like Democrats here. It's like, so I say this lovingly as a Democrat, like we have an ability to eat our own very quickly sometimes. Well, this is fascinating. Here are these heroes just a few minutes ago, and they say one thing that a lot of the MAGA world disagrees with, and suddenly they're being villainized. That's not good for that coalition.
Yeah, I think that's interesting in terms of what the West Wing will look like, too. I mean, Elon Musk is not coming in, Catherine, but in an official capacity, but he's in the room. He's always at Mar-a-Lago. Trump jokes about how he's always often there. He has dinner with him regularly. Between that and the tech moguls who have been parading down to Mar-a-Lago to also have dinner with him, I wonder what that looks like with this divide that is so clear between Stephen Miller and what he has been advocating for and what we know he did in the first term, and what this looks like with a new big advisor in Trump's ear like Elon Musk.
Trump seems to listen to the last person he heard from. So if that is Elon Musk, it might be Elon Musk. If it's Stephen Miller, and as you point out, Stephen.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be Stephen Miller, honestly. I think Musk is and will remain for the foreseeable future his biggest donor. So Musk has carved himself a very, very important role in Trump's administration by the side of Donald Trump as his primary advisor because he owns a lot of money and so a lot of power over Donald Trump. He basically allowed Donald Trump to win. It is one of the major role. He had one of the major role in Donald Trump's campaign, allowing him to win the election. So that's why he has a very, very tight grip over Donald Trump right now.
Miller will have a very powerful job in the next administration. It's probably going to be him. Frankly, I don't think Trump pays all that much attention to the nitty-gritty policies that are taking effect under his watch, which is probably why he doesn't even realize that last time around, he did a lot more to reduce legal immigration than illegal immigration because Stephen Miller was running the show. So I think that whatever Trump says he wants to do, the actual people who are executing the policy at the end of the day, will be making the decisions.
Yeah, I think Donald Trump has the last word ultimately. And he has the last word, he has all the power, he is the most powerful man in the world right now at the head of the biggest country in the world, the United States, and the biggest military in the United States, the biggest economy, which is in the United States. And Elon Musk is only by his side as his advisor, but at the same time, Donald Trump do not want to brush off Elon Musk, which is his biggest supporter and his biggest donator right now. So we will see what happened. Let's see what people are saying. Allow Americans to go to college without drowning in debt. Yes, that would be a good start. I agree that these universities are making a lot of money on the back of Americans, and the people that come out of college, they are in huge debt, and it's very, very sad to see, honestly. There should be free education everywhere, or very, very cheap at least. Companies don't want to train. I agree. You lose a lot of money by training people to do the job that you need them to do. And it's much, much, much cheaper for these Silicon Valley companies to basically import cheap workers from other countries through the H1-B visa, overworking them as they are desperate to stay in the United States, and are paying them as well. Meaning, yes, actually hiring immigrants does take away local job, at least you're diluting pay worker protection. Yeah, I don't think it's worked that way. I don't think immigrants are taking the job of the American people. If people are hiring immigrants, it's because they most likely will not find anybody filling their job description at home. This is insane. Tech workers in the US are struggling to find jobs right now, and corps don't want to hire extremely qualified older tech workers. Yeah, that's because the tech workers in the US are asking for decent work conditions. They are not willing to be underpaid and overworked, which is totally understandable. Instead, H1-B visa workers who are immigrants, they are most likely desperate and are willing to work over hours and being underpaid at the same time. So that's the difference right there. That's why the tech workers in the US don't get the job, because they don't want to be overworked and underpaid. As simple as that. And the immigrants do. The immigrants have the choice between being in America, overworked and underpaid, or going back to where they come from. So obviously they will choose most of the time to stay in America. Let me know what you think about that one in the comment section below this video. Thanks for watching and staying with me. I appreciate you being here as always. Click right there to watch the next video, and I will see you there. Bye bye.